I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps.
What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about circles, arcs, and tangency. So it's gonna be a brief video, but I just want to go through the parts of the circle with you so that you can understand the references that we talk about going into the rest or the other videos. Okay, so when you look here, we have the circle right here, and this is your regular circle that you draw with your compass right here. So let's draw the circle right up here, and then we'll go through the other parts of the circle. So it could be any size circle. So you draw the circle right there, and you have a basic circle using your compass and your pencil if you have a different type of compass. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is the center of the circle. The center of the circle is located where the point of your compass constructed the line. So your point was right here, so the center of your circle will be right here. Okay, and the distance from the center to the circumference, which is the line that you drew, so the line that you drew is called the circumference. Can you see that? Let me bring this down a little bit. Okay, so the line that we drew is called the circumference or ference. Okay, and this is the center line, and we'll just label it as C. Okay, now the segment right here, if you can see, it's a little bit shaded. This is a part of the inner part of the circle, and we'll just draw a line that touches two parts of the circumference without going through the center. Okay, so it touches any two. This way, it can be this way, it doesn't matter. Okay, can be that way, can be thicker, it doesn't have to be all the way down here, it can be from here to here. So anywhere on the circle, this is called the segment. Okay, so the segment, remember the names. Okay, next one we're going to do is the tangent, and the tangent is on the outer part of the circle. So what the tangent is basically is a line that touches any part of the circumference. So any part of the circumference, which is the line that we drew first, or the arc that we drew first with the compass, this is going to be your tangent. Okay, and your tangent does not go inside of the circle, it just barely touches the outside of the circle. Okay, so this is called your tangent. Okay, all right, so the next one is your chord. Okay, so the chord right here, this chord is the line that creates the segment. Okay, so we already drew the segment. The segment is right inside of here, and the chord is the actual line that touches the two parts of the circumference. Okay, so the segment is not the line, the chord is the line. Okay, so know the difference. Some people confuse the segment with the chord. Okay, so the chord is the line, segment is the section. Okay, all right, so the next one we're going to look at is the sector, and the sector is like a pizza pie. Okay, or pie, could be any kind of pie. So the sector is two lines, or are two lines that goes from the center to the circumference. Okay, two straight lines that goes from the center to the circumference. and they can be any size. Okay, they can be from, this can be the beginning, and the other one can be down here, the other one can be over here, the other one can be over here, but this is called a sector. Okay, so right in between here, it's called a sector. So we have circumference, we have tangent, we have sector, we have segment, and we have chords. Okay, and these can be moved anywhere around the paths of the circle. Okay, all right, so the next one is going to be the diameter. Okay, let's do the diameter. So now, and this is what you're going to be hearing a lot when we're drawing circles. The diameter is the distance going through the center, C, from one end of the circumference to the other end of the circumference. So let's draw that line. The circumference is a line going from one end of the circumference to the other end of the circumference. It has to pass through the line. If it doesn't pass through the line, it is a chord. Okay, it has to pass through the center point. Sorry, once it passes through the center point, it becomes the diameter. Okay, so diameter. So know the difference between the diameter and a chord. Okay, now speaking of the diameter, we have the radius now, and the radius is any line, single line, going from the center point to the circumference. Okay, so we're getting a bit technical here. Okay, so this line right here, it's called the diameter, and this is from one end to the other going through the center. This one is the radius, and this is just going from the center. If you see, we didn't continue go down here, it's just going from the center to the circumference, and this is called the radius. Okay, and if you realize the distances between the diameter and the radius, the diameter is 2 times the length of the radius. Okay, because the diameter is double what the radius is right there. Okay, so the radius is half the diameter, and the diameter is 2 times the radius. Okay, so if somebody tells you the radius is, for example, 50 millimeters, then the diameter is 2 times the radius, would be 100 millimeters. If they tell you that the radius is 100 millimeters, then the diameter would be 2 times the radius, so it would be 200 millimeters. Understood? Okay, so sometimes you have specific measurements to draw a circle, and they will either give you the radius or the diameter. So make sure you check and see if the symbol radius or the symbol diameter is next to the measurement, okay? Or else you will get the drawing wrong. All right, next one is the quadrant. Okay, so the quadrant, and I think I can just explain this one. So the quadrant is a quarter of the circle itself. Okay, so a quarter is 1/4 of the circle. So this is a quarter, and this is called the quadrant. Okay, so the quadrant would be 2 radius. It can also be a sector, but it's exactly a quarter of the circle. Okay, so the quadrant is 2 radiuses at 90 degrees. Okay, at 90 degrees. It has to be 90 degrees. If it is not 90 degrees, then it won't be a quarter. Okay, all right, so these are parts of the circle. One thing I want to show you is concentric circles. These are 2 circles that share the same center. So if you have a circle here and they say draw 2 concentric circles, then what happens is your point is going to, if you're drawing a smaller circle, your point is going to land on the same center line, and you're going to draw a smaller circle. Or if you're drawing a bigger circle, same center line, bigger radius, bigger circle. Okay, and that's basically what you need to know about a circle and the paths of a circle. Okay, all right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for the next video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
You have to love this thing,
I'll
man.
see you next time.
You have to love it and breathe it. And it's your morning coffee. It's your food. That's why you become an artist. Art is a mirror of society.